Welcome to Fairway 54. My name is Chad. I'm here in our facility in Pleasant Grove with the Golfzon 2 Vision system. We wanted to just go over how to get set up, started, and get playing on the courses as well as the driving range. So we're going to get into turning everything on. Here is the projector remote. It's going to be velcroed onto the top of the computer. Just one tap power button towards the projector, and then the power button for the machine, this little round rivet looking button. We're just going to tap that once. That'll turn the computer on and let us go into the Golfzon app. All right, when the computer loads up, you'll see here to play golf and driving range, we'll open this. If you want to go into an arcade, we do have the option in Pleasant Grove of the arcade games. So we're just going to double tap this. This will load and start. If there's any updates, it'll do that, and then we'll just hit start, and that will open up the Golfzon. Once the app is open, you're going to get to this screen right here. This is going to be where you're going to log into your Golfzon Global account, which keeps track of your scores, rounds, practice sessions, or you can also guest login here. But here, if you hit the login, there's an option to enter your Golfzon Global ID and password. Or if you use your phone, you can enter this 5-digit code. When it's open, you go to the Golfzon Global app, you hit the lock key at the top of it, enter 26656, which shows on the screen. It's different every time, which then automatically will log you in. That's nice to keep everything, it's easy to log in, easy to get your friends an account. Anyone can have a Golfzon Global account. So from here, the menu, there's a couple different places we can go. One is the driving range for the practice, approach, and putting, which is the bottom left. So we'll go into that right now and show you guys what that looks like.
Okay, and so this is our driving range. A couple things it can do. We can do approach practice here, where we can actually choose a distance to go after the pin. We can make it closer or further away by hitting the club up or club down button. But most of your time will be spent on the driving range, which will give you a lot of data on your swing, including video of your swing, but also some club data. So we'll have Jaden go ahead and hit one after the auto tee. Okay, so Jaden just hit that 7-iron pretty well. So what we can do is we can go to view menu here, and then we can do view stats to see what happened there. So we carried at 170, launch angle 16 degrees, ball speed, side spin, head speed, all that stuff is in there. We can also do a view swing, and to check out what is our body doing during this motion, we can slow it down right here, even slower if we want to. Another cool thing, and my favorite feature actually, is seeing what is happening at the club face, which is by hitting that view sensor mode. And here's we have an ultra slow-mo camera of what is happening down at the club face. So if I ever hit a shot, I'm not really happy with the outcome, I can go here and see what happened that produced that outcome. Okay, so once you're done with the driving range, you're going to want to hit the top right-hand button here, this power button. Would you like to quit? Yes, we do want to quit. Okay, so once we're done with the driving range, we're going to go ahead and start playing a game. So once you're in this menu right here, if you're playing alone, that's fine. If you want to add guests, you can do that by hitting guest. But we are not, so log out, log out. We'll go ahead and hit next on the far right-hand side of the screen. We'll choose, the most common one is going to be stroke play, but there's also the option to do a scramble or a network play where you can actually sync with both bays. But most of your time will be spent in the stroke play. So we'll go ahead and hit next.
Please select the course.
And so Golfzon has about 200 courses to choose from. You can sort by location or popularity or green difficulty, the alphabetical, whatever you want to do. So we'll just, for today, we'll just go to a popularity course and go ahead and do top wind golf course and country club. We'll hit next. Once we select that, we'll hit OK.
Please select the course settings.
And then we'll choose our gimme circle. That's called concede. If you want to putt it out, you can do that. That's a lot of fun, actually. I like that. But we'll go ahead and for today do a 4.9-foot gimme circle. We can also choose the difficulty and the aggression of the swing plate. So how aggressive do we want the swing plate to rotate and tilt in this section here? Okay, so once we are in the course, there's a couple things to look at. One of which is this white tee ball. So if the system sees this ball right in a section, it sees it and it's ready to hit. If there's no ball here, then it does not see your ball and you're not on the right surface. So that's the one thing to note. Another thing is on this screen, there's a couple things to look at. We do have a map of what's ahead of us in terms of the course. There is a right to left wind that's demonstrated by this, right to left line across the map. It's 9 miles per hour on the top right hand corner. We also always have the distance to the pin right underneath our name at 332. So we have a 332 par 4. And so we'll go ahead and let Jaden crush this drive.
Wow, good shot.
Okay, so we have two different sand types here. We have a fairway sand, which is that white sand right there. It sits a lot higher there, and versus the green side bunker sand sits a lot lower, and so you gotta splash it out. So we'll just demonstrate here. All right, so putting with a Golfzon is pretty unique and pretty cool. We're going to go ahead and get this auto tee, put it on the fairway. It will read where the ball is in relation to the hole and then give us a laser right there. So if we move this ball in a different spot on the mat, so go ahead and put it like right there, it will move that laser to account for that change in ball position. So the mission here is really just to put that ball over that laser light, and that will be your line to that hole. The hard part is the pace of that ball. All right, so here we have a par 3. A couple things we want to go over. Here's the auto tee. With this, the ball needs to be placed on the fairway on a par 3. If you're hitting anything but a driver, so if you're hitting iron, a hybrid, or a wood, it needs to be off of the fairway. And the fairway could be any distance in on this striped mat. We do have rough surfaces and sand, of course, but for this par 3, we're just hitting off of the tee box.
At the end of the game, it will go into the end of game screen. If you're ending in the middle, you just hit this power button. You can hit return players to lobby if you're going to play more, or just hit OK. It'll log everybody out. And then you just go previous, OK. This little drop down arrow, and then exit will bring you back to the computer. And then from the Windows screen, we're just going to go Windows and power off. All right, guys, the Golfzon can be a lot of fun to play, the most simulated simulator on the market. There are a few rules that we need to follow in order to keep this place looking good and playable for everybody. The first one is that we're only going to take the driver off the tee. Any woods, irons on par 3s even, we're going to take onto the fairway surface and hit off the fairway surface. This keeps the mat near the tee looking fresh and good for everybody. The next one is that where the simulated sand is, the little platform on the edge, if you could stay off of that, and definitely don't step on the sand, as it would ruin the sand experience. Before you start playing in the simulator, it's important to go and stop at our wash station in the lobby. Make sure all your clubs are clean of any dirt, as that dirt goes onto the balls and then onto the screen. So we want to keep everything as clean as possible when coming in here. Once you're done playing in here, it's important also to turn off the computer completely, as well as the projector. This helps refresh the system for the next user. Just make sure everything is turned off, completely off when you are done before you leave. And enjoy that.